Sorry, I had to. The facial
memes from last
expressions,
episode,
the memes have gotten so good. Yeah. It's gotten
I feel so
good.
bad.
I feel bad. Right? But the issue is the acting is becoming an issue. I do have a spicy opinion. I do think that this episode is better than many people on the internet are giving it credit for, at least a certain scene or two, and we'll talk about that as we get there. However, it is continuing to be an issue here in episode 5, which episode 5 is called, Joe, do you know?
No.
Okay,
Shit.
don't worry about it. And this one covers a lot of ground. We just finished watching it. Alex, what does this one cover?
They are triangulating the positions of the people. We learn of the existence of spores. Ellie hunts down Nora, and there is a lot of tension in a battle scene, and a surprise guest joins them.
It's a lot.
It's a lot packed in there, and I'm wondering if we're kind of rushing through a bit in order to get. It's feeling to me like this season is going to conclude with the Jesse moment, and then we'll switch perspectives to Abby in season 3. Which honestly, the way Bella Ramsey, and it may not just be Bella Ramsey. Here's an issue. I've noticed several things that is happening here. The writing, while good in certain places, Bella can only work with a certain amount. People were criticizing her acting, and I get it because, it's becoming an issue here and what she's supposed to be portraying. But this, I think, is a conscious effort from the writers and Neil Druckmann and Craig to have a different version of Ellie for some reason. Because she's so... It's like we're on a whimsical love adventure. And she's kind of skipping up the stairs. And when this is a post-apocalyptic, this is horrifying. Your supposed love interest is pregnant. You could be killed at any time. And we have kind of this whimsical lovey-dovey thing. And then not a few minutes later, she's a murderous, unfeeling, uncaring, torturous. The transition there is too abrupt. Whereas the Ellie in the video games, I felt had a better transition into becoming this murder ninja. But here it is so stark when it's put right against each other. And it tries to recapture some of the magic of the games. I think it fails for the most part because some of these moments that we saw in the games are accentuated with gameplay where you're killing a bunch of scars. Soldiers. You're doing none of that. And I thought, okay, well, it's a transition to the TV show, so you can't do that. However, I went and dug deeper, and I saw interviews where they are, and the directors and writers are consciously lowering Ellie's kill count. They're doing it on purpose. And I'm not sure why. I think it's because of the criticism that people who didn't like the video game, they're directly addressing this. Oh, well, this message of revenge is bad that you guys are trying to say and is undercut because you literally have us as Ellie murder everyone.
And talk shit after the murders.
And so what I think is happening here is that the show is speed running through all of these moments that Ellie would be killing and murdering and being brutal so that we don't have that criticism anymore. Now, they still want to show Ellie being brutal and especially here with Nora so that you can get the mirroring of Ellie is Abby and Abby is Ellie and it's two sides of the coin so that they still have that drama when these two confront each other and she goes after it. But I think that's doing a disservice kind of, speed running through some of these things, lowering Ellie's kill count, making Ellie still feel like season 1 version of Ellie rather than season 2 version of Ellie. But maybe after the episode they said this is kind of where she's transitioning. It's like, okay, so this is where she's transitioning, I guess, from this point forward, but there's only 2 episodes left. We're going to see that. But so far, yeah, a little overstuffed. Some good moments here and there, but not what I was hoping. Except for one scene, which I'll talk about, which I have a spicy take, which I think is better than the game. Go ahead.
This episode is called Feel Her Love.
There it is.
I agree. I honestly feel like there was a lot, but not enough to like marinate or do anything with it. Everything was just going way too fast. I feel like a lot of this stuff just happened for convenience. It's like, oh, we got to go here. We're there. We get into trouble with the scars. We're out of trouble. And we see Nora already. I was like, oh, this is a lot, but not enough substance. Like, it's just too much. I felt like the pacing was off. The tone of Ellie, I still didn't like. Dina tries, but it just no.
How did you feel about the added HBO scene that only happens in the series, not the game, that opens the show? We have this really short lady coming in, and she's stomping her boots, and she's real tough. And all the soldiers are like, oh, man, this lady's tough. And then she goes in the interrogation room, and she's talking with that one chick, which I said in the previous episode I couldn't understand what she was saying. Well, it was the trailer sound design. It's fine here. She says it's in the air. And HBO has kind of brought the SPORES back into the air. What did you think of that?
I honestly didn't care for it. I do like that actress, though. She does.
Which one? The short lady or the Asian lady?
The short lady.
Okay.
She does various characters pretty good.
But did she honestly, do this character good? Not for me. No. I was like, I don't believe.
I honestly could have just didn't really matter.
Okay.
I expected this pace the entire. I mean, when you're trying to turn a video game into an HBO series, I thought that they would be going around this pace. So I got kind of like mentally prepped myself. So while I agree that they are moving pretty quick, I kind of expected it. And so I wouldn't take anything away from those things. The things that I have issues with is like you guys is the tone and things are awkward. And I don't buy the portrayal of Ellie. It doesn't feel appropriate to me based on liking. I like what they did with her in the game and like how they did certain things, and I don't necessarily appreciate or understand. And maybe this turn that they're claiming is going to happen will satisfy me, but I don't want to say it every week, but it's like I don't know if it's what Bella has been given, or I don't know if it's the range that Bella has as an actor, but it's not working for me, and it starts to become distracting. Yeah. Where in like the believability in scenes where it's just like you are not menacing, and then there's awkward scenes where it's just like there's a confrontation scene where stuff gets thrown at her, and it's like she's just gonna get decked in the face and this would be over, and like there is no belief. Like, why are we running? Like, this is such a silly thing for you to be running from this person.
I'm bothered by the split. It's almost split personality disorder at this point. Yeah. It's like, all right, I get it.
And it's like I don't want to be part of the internet, like, because there's like the internet hate train is real, and like we've seen all like some of the
internet love train is real too.
For sure.
There's one sub on Reddit that absolutely, if you don't know, there's one sub on Reddit that absolutely hates Bella Ramsey, and they're the ones where you get some of the memes of the faces and stuff, and they're focusing on the performances, and sometimes they go too far. And there's some pieces of shit in there, but there's also really good points as well. Same thing with the other side. There's another sub, I think it's HBO, added to the Last of Us 2, and there's like 17 posts of how amazing her acting was in this episode. Is almost to overcompensate from this. So clearly when a person has created this divide, there is something there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're as bad as Gal Gadot, but we're closer to that than we are Glenn Close. And It's distracting. It's fucking distracting
It
because
is.
you're watching this and it's
It
like, I don't
is.
believe this. I don't buy this. And everyone else, even the intro scene that I didn't love, but it's like, I believe these characters. Like, they are acting in a way where it's like, I believe that they're feeling the things that they're feeling. They're not just wearing the face that they assume to be appropriate and moving the jaw to a specific place. It's like, I do not buy you as this character, and you're not doing it. And Pedro doesn't look like Joel, but he's so good that I don't care, and it fits. And like, that's the same thing with all of these other people in this TV show. But there's something about Ellie that it's becoming a problem, and I can't wait until the character switch happens.
It's a lot of small things that are piling up, and I'm broken down this episode into 5 main components. You got the Leon thing at the beginning, the new HBO thing, this kid named Leon. There's some emotion there. They're trying to trigger some emotion and show a difference between Joel's decision, saving Ellie, being selfish, versus this one lady, this one sergeant who apparently seals up Leon, who it turns out to be her son, in order to keep the spores from getting out. So there's that one. The other 4 components are the triangulation scene and the whimsical, happy-go-lucky thing hanging out in this place with power, the theater. It's annoying to me, and this plays into what Alex is saying. The writer's depiction of Ellie, or maybe Bella Ramsey, is adding some of her own things or her own ideas to the character, because why the fuck would somebody who goes on scouting missions over and over and looks at maps and practices this all the time, because we're in a post-apocalyptic world, not have any idea what the fuck triangulating is? And she's like, what is that? Is it triangles? Yeah, I know exactly what it is. You draw triangles. It's like, all right, and then they be the whimsical love story, and then they'll go in there. They do the guitar, so I guess there's 6 components. We do the guitar. She starts to play the song that Joel played for her, and then she gets upset and can't finish it, even though in the video game we were doing the people can play Enter Sandman on it and stuff. But she gets, and maybe that's the turning point, I suppose the writers and directors and producers intended, because from this point forward, when she can't do that, she turns into this emotionless, I don't care, killer, and that's when we get I forgot the stalker scene, so that's another element. There's stalkers, which I liked it. It was very dangerous. It was scary, but then convenience, then you have
a lot of that happened. This was
Jesse showing up, deflating all of the danger and tension and making the stalkers look stupid, and not a big deal. Let's get to the next thing, yada yada. And that's unfortunate. And then we get the Seraphim stuff again, very scary. Motherfucking dude gets gutted, and they show it, and it looks good.
Yeah,
and
like,
it looks
this could
harrowing.
be pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we got the fucking, and then Arrow comes in and hits Dina. I'm like, Dina, not my Dina. No, that's my Dina. And then you got Jesse.
You go to the theater. I'll go over here.
And
done.
then done.
End of scene.
And I'm like, guys, this is what I'm feeling, Alex. It's just too rushed. There's not enough. We don't even get Ellie killing, as she does in the video games, several scars.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting too, because like they said, I thought it was going to be like 3 seasons, so let's stretch out some of the scar stuff, and then
because then you're like, oh shit, she is a badass. She is killing.
Yeah.
She's getting better and better.
Yeah, show
But
some of her
if you're not
skills.
showing that transition, then it's not working. And then they speed rush. They cut out a complete section from the video games where it's the dogs. And I think it's because they didn't want people to hate Bella Ramsey and Ellie's character for killing dogs. But you do see the WLF, dogs and, sniffing her out, and she's in tall grass, and she runs, and she crawls under a small thing where a guy thinks, oh, only critters could get there. Doesn't realize that, there are small people in the world, but I guess fine. But
weak people, they all died off.
They all died off. But it's such a disappointment. And I see what you're doing. You're basically correcting all the criticisms that people have. Fair enough. You're making millions of dollars. You want to do it better the second time, but I think it's being speedrun. So actually, there's like 7 elements because I forgot about that one. And then we finally get at the point where they go into the hospital and you do the B2 basement, and they kind of switch things up here. But here is where I do think the one scene is actually better. And the reason for that is I went back and I watched Ellie in the red light and in her interactions with Nora in the video game. She's pacing. Everything's much quicker. And in the show, I actually think it is done better. It's scarier. They take their time with it. This is the one scene that they take their time with it. I understand, if you're having a problem with the acting, that you're feeling like she's not really intimidating, but I thought that it was done well. I would have liked for her to add that line that she did in the video game where it's like, tell me, and I can make this quick, or I can make it easier. Otherwise, I'm going to make it so much worse. That kind of adds to Ellie becoming a monster, but she doesn't say that in here. And in fact, there's a change from the video game where Nora just spills her guts. Nora's just like, do you even know what Joel did? Joel did this. Like, she doesn't say that in the video game, and therefore Ellie never really knows exactly why. What Abby's motivation was at that time, and I think that keeping that mystery all the way till later on or to the end, or having Joel himself tell Ellie in these supposed flashback scenes are about to happen, is so much better and more impactful. But when she tells her all this stuff, Ellie's just like, I know, and I don't care. So that in its own way is impactful. So I thought that this particular scene was done better than the game, but pretty much everything else has problems.
Yeah, because I think that kind of ties in with the whole Dina story in the beginning too. It's like, look, if I was the other guy, I would be chasing them down too in the first.
I
game.
love that moment from Dina.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if my family had wronged him in the past. I still would want my revenge exactly that way. So
that makes me see everything they've done with Dina is so good. It justifies why she's there. It makes her character deeper and more engaging. And the actress, frankly, is just better for this particular role than Bella Ramsey as this older version of Ellie that is on this revenge murder spree. And so far, it's not working.
Yeah, but it's like revenge murder spree summer camp because, like
Summer
you
camp.
say, like she's
Summer
super
love.
happy. It's like, hey, everything's gonna be really
Summer
cool.
love camp.
Oh, that guy got gutted. Isn't that gross?
Whoa.
And it's like, all right, I'm gonna torture this woman to death. It's like, what is happening with this?
Yeah.
I like that they are addressing some of the things in one. Like, hear me out to the end. It's like I like that they're doing things where they're trying to make Ellie a more reluctant killer because it sets up some of the stuff later on. We even asked for it. It's like, hey, you can't have Ellie get super upset and have a mental breakdown when she kills someone because she just killed 500 fucking people. Like we were experts at murdering people, and then after she would shoot them in the face, she'd be like, "Yeah, that's what you deserve, you stupid." Like she would curse.
You like that they're taking that all out,
but you can't do it in this way because it makes it stupid. Because like I don't like that. I have no fear of her whatsoever, and like portraying her as like the summer camp whimsical thing, and then slowly torturing thing is too big of a divide. So it's like, yes, I think that you're fixing one of the parts, but you're ruining it. You're ruining the fix by portraying it in this other way. And again, I don't know whose fault it is. I just know that I don't enjoy Ellie, and it's not like I didn't enjoy Joffrey in Game of Thrones, but like
it's a different kind.
It fits because you're like, wow, the kid's killing it, like everything's here.
Joffrey's performance was low key goat.
Yeah,
one of the
awesome.
best.
But it's like I didn't like the character, that's not why I don't like Ellie. I don't like Ellie because I don't think it's like why I didn't like the evil witch in Snow White.
I just find it funny that if they're trying to fix her character, they actually fucked up hard in this episode.
Yeah.
Because why? You hear it from the soldiers. She opened the seal. We gotta go and see it. So Ellie literally she's going to be responsible for spreading this
Another
virus
outbreak.
into the air and fuck the entire world because she wanted revenge on Nora. I don't know if that's the direction they're going, but right now that shit is open, and she just unleashed an airborne virus, which is so much more
It's only a 1 mile radiation.
dangerous.
That's it. It's 1 mile.
Except for wherever she goes, because she's covered in the spores.
The wind
Nope,
just does
nope.
not
It's
exist
not the way it
in
works.
this
Don't-
area.
Don't think about it.
Right,
Yeah.
and these spores are not
Don't.
going to place themselves anywhere.
Correct.
So she's covered in them, and so what's going to happen is we're going to get another fingering scene where she's
Oh,
filthy and
no.
covered in spores.
Oh.
What?
Well, why that had to have been Neil Druckmann, because his inappropriate sex scene shit, his abuse of his power, his horny 13-year-old teenager idea of what sex is between two consenting adults that love each other is getting in the way. We're literally fingering this, and then the Abby scene. I'm not getting into it. It was just inappropriate, and it goes to show you, yes, she's gonna come back. She's gonna be so happy that she's alive.
And all their clothes are going to be
And
washed, and then their hair's going to be
Their
done,
hair is
and
amazing.
it's going to be
You smell amazing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, I just sent my jeans to the dry cleaners. The
Whoa.
blood that was on my jeans, totally gone now.
Not a crease on there.
No.
Okay, so
So what do you think overall?
let's
Oh.
go into final verdicts.
5
I found the line.
already.
Go ahead.
5 for me. This is average. There's a lot of stuff that did happen, but not enough for me to be like entertained and stuff. Like a lot of stuff happened for convenience. She goes into the compound. I thought I was like, oh, how is she gonna get into some of these people?
Yeah.
Next thing she's like, I got you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you already behind her? Okay, what happened? Did I miss something? Nope. She just went underneath, and then next scene, she's there. And then this happens. It's like, oh, they're in danger.
And then they're in danger.
safe.
No, they're not in danger.
No, they're not in
They're
danger. It's like, okay, wow.
But I thought this is going to be like a big action sequence. It's going to like take an episode. We're going to really dive into the
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
We're not doing any of that. We're
No.
moving on. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
that's-
Because the video game has time to flesh out those sections because you're
I
murdering
thought
and
they were
killing
going to do
and
this as
understanding.
here too because
Yeah.
they want to stretch it out. It's like,
I
okay,
want to make
stretch it
clear
out.
though that the episode, in terms of production quality,
Yeah, for sure.
set design, the way it looks,
The effects.
this shit is
he's
like
getting
9
gutted.
out of
I was like-
10.
I love that scene. It's like, oh, what's going to happen?
I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10
For looks.
in that in that way, and I think that really gets some people. They're like, I don't know why this is amazing. This is great. It's like, yeah, but if you examine the themes that they're
Everything-
trying
yeah.
to cover, if you look at the writing, if you look at a piece of media on which this is based on, that it's an adaptation. It's
Yeah, that red room, it fucking looked amazing.
Yeah,
I was like,
amazing.
holy
All
shit.
that
the guy
shit was
breathing out
great.
the
Yes, I was
spore
like,
rings.
That
He's
was
like,
so cool. I was like, okay.
It was
then-
like motherfucking alien
Yeah.
hive.
Yeah,
I was like
I was-
scared as shit. I was like, get the fuck out of there. This is a 10 out of 10. Honestly, that room, 10 out of 10. The idea of that,
Yeah.
the idea of people like being forced to fucking live for years in that way just to spread spores
Yeah.
is fucking terrifying.
it's really cool.
Yeah. All right,
Right.
we're moving on. And just like Ellie, we just move on from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
I agree. I think that there are some really cool parts of this episode. I like some of the scenes. I like some of the stalker stuff. I really wish they'd figured it out themselves. And then Jesse shows up. And
Yes.
then the tension in the scene is not, will Jesse show up on time? It's like Jesse's like, hey, they could do something with, did you get bit? Did you not get bit? So I thought that was kind of cheesy. But I think this whole Ellie not hurting anybody or anything thing is getting to me. I'm getting to the point where
Except
it's,
for Nora.
yeah,
Does-
but
she
it's
does
like
murder Nora.
we go back to the thing. It's like we only hurt people that
Yeah.
that deserve it or that are armed, and
Right.
like they did in the
They
previous
shot
one.
That's
Dina.
what they're trying to
They
do.
shot Dina. Get justice
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, but so like we're at
No
the po-
justice for Dina?
yeah. So her not killing any of the people with guns, like not setting up any of these sequences, like we're missing all this opportunity for tension, and it's not just a missed opportunity. We're missing. If I hadn't played the game, I guess this would have been better. But I did play
Yes.
the game, and we went through it, and so it's like
We can make that admission. If you didn't play the game, you probably think it's much better.
yeah. But the thing is, like, we need to be setting up this character because some really crazy shit happens, and all sorts of like character decisions can already be kind of hard enough to swallow, and we're cutting away a lot of the motivations. So I don't know. I think Ellie bothers me, and I don't know when if it ever is going to stop bothering me. So I'm also giving it a 5.
Okay. like I said, parts of this is a 9 out of 10 for me, but I think the meat and the content, the performances, some of the changes, some of the rushing through, some of these bits. If you're trying to fucking stretch out The Last of Us 2, I'm over here like, why aren't you stretching out The Last of Us 2? What are we doing? We're about to give Abby all of this extra time in season 3 with less interesting stuff when she meets Lev and the other one. I don't even remember some of the character names, but she meets up with another group and then they have their own
lady
adventure.
on adventures.
And I'm like, nah, man, the Ellie stuff, these characters that we care more about because we've spent all the fucking time with, that should be expanded. Dina expansion. Jesse expansion, Ellie expansion. Not really the, Abby and her crew of misfits. So for that reason, well, it may look 9 out of 10. I think I agree. We're at 5-6 territory, and I think but because I think they did that final scene, the B2 basement scene with Nora and Ellie, better. I do wish Bella Ramsey could have acted through that scene a bit more, with a bit more emotion. But if she's turning into this emotionless monster that doesn't care about anything, that just wants revenge, it makes sense in that small way. So I think I'm going to end up 6 out of 10. Most of our ratings, like we said, can change over time as we see what is left. There are 2 episodes left, which thankfully these episodes are longer. They're not 30-minute Disney fucking Star Wars episodes or 23-minute episodes. There's some meat here, so we do have some time. What's coming next, they've teased at it. What ends this episode is she wakes up, and here comes Joel. Joel is back in the show.
He's alive.
Pedro Pascal's back in the show. He's alive. No, not really. This is a flashback of the good times and, them potentially resolving some of their fights that they've had before. So that's coming next. Quite clearly, the next episode is the museum, is the astronaut thing, is, her flashbacks with Joel.
They showed that?
They showed that in because y'all don't watch the end. So that one might get better because
I love
it
that
seems like when Bella Ramsey is around better actors, they can carry her. And so I think Pedro Pascal as Joel has been pretty good. And we've seen Bella Ramsey can do this younger version of Ellie, the fun version of Ellie before she becomes a revenge murder, intimidating ninja. And so I'd imagine that this next episode, it's going to, be a temporary relief. We'll see. Yeah, and 6 out of 10.
So average for us and above average, slightly above average for you. Like, 'cause I do see a lot of people like, you guys are crazy. It's like our scale 5 is average. Because a lot of people like, I give this one a 7. It's like, well, we're saying the exact same thing because you're quoting someone who says 7 is average, and that doesn't make any sense because you're not in 2nd grade.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
Thank you for pointing that out. It's
Nothing
such a
makes
thing
sense.
that people forget all the time.
5 is average for us.
Your 7 is average.
Yeah, and so when we have the same rating, 5 for us is just average.
Yeah. Okay, so quick episode breakdown after this, but thank you for watching. Going into the episode breakdown now. All right, so like we said, HBO adds this whole sequence with, Leon, her son, having to fucking kill her son, essentially. But her son actually says, hey, seal the underground. But did you know that second person that's breathing spores, that's her son? You're supposed to see the thing. Yeah. He's Asian, but he looks way younger than I thought he would. And I guess it's because of all the makeup. So I'm over here. This is like a 10-year-old kid looking to me. And so in the previous scene when she's like, I sent my best soldier. The 10-year-old kid is your best soldier, but I guess he's older.
Him and his
just
team.
Looks weird.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. He's got the fountain of youth. He might be a teen.
Yeah, he's 45 actually.
Damn. All right. And then we move on to the triangulation scene where Ellie is a fucking moron. In the show, they're really pushing this angle where Ellie's a stupid idiot and Dina is a smart, intelligent person. Ellie, well, what they're trying to say is Ellie's the brawler and the killer, and I don't.
It just undercuts Ellie as a character because it's like, okay, fine, you're not physically intimidating. At least have
That's smart. Then,
yeah, like you can absolutely be like this.
We take that away.
We take that another facet away. It's like, okay, I guess.
And that's not the video game Ellie. The video game Ellie would know how to fucking triangulate on the map with no patrol routes.
Kill the patrols.
And all that.
And then spin on them.
That's why
and then light them on fire.
That's why we think this change is not so good. You can think the change is great. That's great. But the change is not so good.
I have to send you a link to someone put a laugh track to that scene, and it is because it's written so awkwardly. And
nice. Send me the link. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, before that, we get the Stalkers, and in the after episode, I meant is Stalkers mean death is what the it was either Neil Druckmann or Craig. It was Stalkers mean death, and I'm like, no, it doesn't, because Jesse comes in immediately and saves the day when they are fucked. I mean, Ellie does save Dina once again. They're trying to show the two sides. You're really smart, and I'm good at this, so I'm gonna protect you. But then Ellie
was
gets.
She though?
Yeah, she gets overwhelmed, and they're biting.
She gets clever
her.
girled, because they approach her.
But the way it's filmed, there's no fucking way Ellie survives here. They would have ripped her apart by the time Jesse comes in and starts shooting. And it's just kind of filmed poorly in the sense that it's like, okay, all right, done.
Yeah.
But just, all right.
I was like, all right, moving on. And Jesse comes in to say, you guys are idiots. You left your fucking map and everything. I found you.
This
Super
is another
easy.
thing that bothers me, but I think that was it. It's been a while since I played the game, guys, but I think that was in the game.
Yeah, tell
where
me
they leave the map behind.
Yeah.
I'm like, but that makes no sense because we literally need to triangulate, and I would need the map to know where to go, but I'm going to leave the map behind that I worked hard on. That doesn't make any sense. And then I think it gets even worse. I think Jesse left the map behind too, and that's how Abby knows how to meet up with them because she finds the map in the game. Isn't that? Do you remember? I don't remember. If the map gets left behind the second time, I'm gonna be pissed. Anyways, because I don't remember how Abby just happens to show up at the same theater so that we get our Jesse moment. But it's coming. We'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's next?
So then Jesse saves them. They run out. They start getting shot at. They're like, let's go to the woods. The wolf is like, we don't go into the woods.
Yeah.
Let's stop chasing them. Like, okay.
Right.
So then they hear whistling. Everyone get down. We get a cool scene where the guy's like, I'll join you. I'm sorry. Like, I'll be one of you guys. He's like,
this is a cool
no,
scene.
feel her love. Gutted.
And he
like
feels
the
her
pig
love.
I saw.
He's free.
It's terrible.
He's now free. And as they're watching this as a group, they're fucking, they got the whistles right.
The whistle
completely
tips.
from the game. No, that's the Scars making the whistles, and that whistle
As they're shooting, they're whistling.
I am engaging.
Like
yeah,
that-
no,
that'd
that's
be
the
sweet,
thing.
though.
Whistle tips.
Like
That's
the
the thing.
Nerf football ones that had the whistling thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. Apparently, it makes your prey freeze. If you're hunting, it'll make the prey freeze for a second to see where, and then arrow to the fucking head.
Who's in that?
Anyways, so then Dina gets hurt, and then Jesse has to pick her up, and he's transporting her, and Ellie's like, I'll distract them.
Let's split up.
And she doesn't
Take
really...
her back to the theater. I'm distract him. She lays down. And then he's like, oh, she's gone.
Yeah.
Next thing, she's crawling down the little thing.
Dumb. I just don't, yeah.
I was terrified that they were going to finally do the thing where she starts killing dogs.
Killing dogs, yeah. So as soon as I saw that dog, I'm like, "There's no way." But I knew HBO wasn't going to do it. I knew that was one change they were going to make immediately because nobody liked that
Why,
change.
Joe?
Nobody liked it.
Are you saying that it was childish emotional manipulation in the video game, which would...
What? Neil Druckmann, I would never in a million years would I do that.
This one bad.
I had
this
to make
one
you
good.
feel that Ellie was bad because you had such a strong attachment to Ellie. I had to break that attachment by killing a dog. And she doesn't kill a dog. She runs from the dog. She doesn't get anywhere near the dog. they don't play a factor at all.
Yeah, she crawls into the little drainage ditch, and then next scene we see Nora kind of cleaning up some bandages. It's like, don't move. I was like,
Why the
how?
fuck did they choose this is one the hospital, the one hospital you choose is where you know spores are at. Could you not just, once you discover what's in the fucking basement,
Light it
you
on
leave.
fire.
Well, they
You light it on fire. Well, that would just probably create more spores.
This was a
and
bad
release them.
idea.
But don't have your hospital here, because this is the top level of their hospital. And then when you run around, and then when Ellie goes on her,
Whatever you call
boneheaded
it.
spree to kill Nora, and they're running through the halls, and
like
she's like,
Benny
kill
Hill.
this bitch! She's chasing me! Ellie's chasing me! Kill her! And then everybody turns into stormtroopers.
Put some Benny Hill music
She's
to
3
it.
feet
Just
tall,
running
Joe.
around.
It's hard to hit a 3 foot tall
She runs
person.
really fast.
Yeah.
She runs as fast as little baby Leia. and Disney
They're
Plus.
similar heights.
Yeah, so she couldn't
I would have fired those, killed those fucking
incompetent
mercenaries.
mercenaries. Anyways, in the Disney Plus
Toddler.
universe. All right, back to the HBO universe. She jumps. I guess she gets cornered and
Jumps into the shaft.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she looks down, she starts shooting, she opens it up and jumps in as well. I was like, oh fuck.
Well, so we get the one-on-one. Yeah, the one-on-one scene, which is kind of again they're framing that this is another scene where Nora throws a bunch of
this
shit
is
at her.
exactly from the game, and because they literally did it one for one from the game, I think it was all right. It was fine.
Yeah, I
They
just
can tweak it.
yeah,
if you
because
wanted
she's
to, but-
blinded. It's like just run up and take the gun from her and. Yeah, like
Yeah, but it happened that way in the game too. But you would say that in the game would be over.
yeah. The difference is like Ellie in the game is like intimidating and dangerous and nothing
Yeah,
about.
I would have
it.
been like, turn around, pop.
I know you would, Joe. And then once she's dead, you say, "Where's Abby?"
You, me,
Yes, Joe. But then, where's Abby?
somewhere in this room.
She's
Time to go
dead,
ask
Joe.
somebody
You
else.
don't shoot the target that can tell you where Abby is, Joe. He's not.
There was more of them. There's more of them.
There's more. Those people don't know Abby.
Yeah, I'd be like, look, I killed your friends. I'm going to kill you too if you don't tell me. It makes it more intimidating.
To be fair, I'm gonna kill you anyway. But that's what the game Ellie says. I'm gonna kill you anyway, but I can make it faster,
Yes.
or I can make it so much worse. And I like this so much worse, and they didn't put that line in here. I was like, what do you mean so much worse? Like you're gonna torture me a lot, or you're gonna put me in that room, and I'm gonna live the rest of my life as a breathing lung for spores? Because if you're gonna do that, I'll tell you where Abby is, and then go ahead and kill me right now. That I'll buy.
I lied.
Anyway,
That's dangerous, Ellie. Though we don't get dangerous.
We don't get dangerous in it.
Not yet.
We
Next
get
episode.
Yeah. Not next episode because that's the astronauts.
Yes.
we
The
get
next
an Ellie that
episode.
doesn't move her mouth when she talks, and she's just super one
Great.
note.
Great ventriloquist, though.
Have
Can
you seen the
do
picture
that?
of Calvin? All the Calvin things where he's making the faces and it's like happy, sad. It's just like hers is all the same, except for her chin does do weird things.
All right, so yes, they fall into the B2 basement with the
Yeah.
spores. We get the spore scene. The spores are amazing, and Nora's likely breathing all these spores, so she's definitely dead.
Great scene right here.
And and then she corners her. They have the conversation. I think that this plays out better than the game. In the game, it's a little quick, and she's pacing. I do feel the Ellie performance in the game was better, but every other aspect of this one is better. And you could tell Nora's actress is a good caliber actress, at least compared with Bella here, or the direction that they gave Bella. And so I buy it. And it's horrifying because, you do see the change in Ellie, but it's like, but just 5 seconds ago you were, are you psychotic, or or are you cracking and succumbing to the pressure? It's too abrupt from the way they depict it here. Then we get the the flashback scene
Yeah.
with Joel. And it's wonderful to see him in the show again. We knew they were going to do this. I didn't know they were going to wait all the way to the end. But episode 6 guaranteed to be an entire flashback
Above
episode.
5,
We might
guaranteed.
actually get the whole thing with Eugene, right? So after he comes into her room, they do the whole thing. It's probably going to play out, continue to go. And then the thing in that episode is the reveal with Eugene and what he did, and maybe her, please don't do this, but maybe her idea of who Joel was isn't quite as shiny as she remembers. I don't fucking know. There's going to be the museum at some point.
I mean, that was my favorite part of the whole game. Like the music, they killed it there. So
yeah, that's also going to be there as well. And okay,
are they just going to go super fast with it?
Yeah, I mean that's what they've been doing. I mean, we have to.
What is that? Is that a oh? Let's get in the pod. It's like, oh, this is cool. This is what the astronauts used to do. Okay, come on, let's go.
I like astronauts. Let's go.
It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, no. They got Pedro back. They need to, utilize him and get him out. Get him all of his Pedro milk out of his Pedro titties. Okay. Anything else in this? No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we're good. So I can already tell where this is going. We get the flashback episode. Next one, the final episode, episode 7, is the Jesse moment, and we're still with Ellie's perspective here. The Jesse moment's going to happen. It is going to fuck with Dina, her mental, situation. It's going to further transform Ellie into a murderous killer ninja from the games, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill them all. Well, she already said that, but they're gonna do something ridiculous like a Rambo one-liner, and then smash the black.
They drew first blood.
They drew first blood. And it's like, but that was your doctor. Your doctor. You were at the doctor. They drew first blood. And then we have to wait 2 years for season 3. This just sucks, man. This really lost steam.
Yeah.
We thought it would lose steam, and it's losing steam. Like Alex said, we might get one morsel of goodness here before we end. But we're gonna end on a sour note, and I am curious to see how people react to Jesse and his death, and how that will go over amongst people watching the show. So now you kill half of the good characters that you're introducing. Will they show up for an episode, season 3, where it's nothing but Abby? Because I think then they'll switch perspectives to Abby, and then Ellie will be this, killer in the background. Maybe that's good. And give Bella Ramsey some time.
You can see a forehead sticking over like little things. It's just like, boop.
Joe, don't laugh. That's not good. Now I did see a post. I just thought about it too. The image. That's stop it. So here's the thing. I saw this image on. I don't think I can find it.
The Buzz Lightyear one.
Somebody was like, "Look, it's not her acting. It's
the
her hair."
I saw the picture.
That one. I should have saved that picture because that shit. Okay, they're wrong. It is the acting, it is the writing, but it's
helps.
also the hair, because they show a scene of her in season 1 where the hair, or they fix the hair themselves and give her a different hairstyle, and it looks better. It looks so much better. And now every time I see, her acting and this big, Ferengi, style, I don't know. Is this Bella on set saying, I don't want my hair to be like this, like it was in the game. I like my hair like this, like it was in Game of Thrones. I don't fucking know.
See, I don't.
But
for me, it's not the look.
Disservice to her.
I agree they did a disservice. For me, it's not the look, because I've never really cared that the actor has to look exactly like the guy who played Han Solo. Completely won me over.
You do care about the look because you just made fun of her forehead, and so
Tom
it
Holland.
is in your brain in there somewhere, and you're the one that made the point that she looks ridiculous from time to time.
She does,
with this particular haircut.
But that,
and it's hard to take her seriously.
But like the majority, I'm a grown up, and I know that the majority of the problems is she can't fucking act.
Right.
Gal Gadot looks awesome in all of her movies, and she goes, "Hello, no." and she can't
That's
fucking act. And
pretty
she ruins all the scenes that she's in, and I get so much of that here. Where it's like I don't buy. It's like Bella has a picture, and she's like, "Oh, this is how human beings look when they're angry," and then she does something weird with her face. But it's like I don't think you're angry. You're trying to pretend to be angry, and like you feel it.
That's a good
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah.
Let's do the Nile one.
Oh, the
bye.
champagne. Yeah, and so it's like I get yes, she should have like the different hair, but like I honestly think that for me, and I do think a lot of other people, it's like either the material is bad or it's just a mismatch.
It knocks you out a bit.
And a lot.
But the makeup team didn't do her
Yeah.
any favors there. They should have given it that outside. Would have helped a little bit. Anyway, it would have at least made Joe not burst out in laughter when Alex made a joke. All right, we're having fun here. I hope you're having fun too. We will see you for episode 6 next week, where we get Pedro back and we get the one of the better moments in the game. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. We'll see. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.